Hello Year 3, happy Tuesday. Miss Morgan here, ready for today's comprehension for the Year 3 booklet. And today we are on pages 14 and 15 and it's called Mr. Gum and the Biscuit Billionaire. What a bizarre title. I'd really like to get to know this story. So what I'm going to ask you today is we're going to read it together, okay? So make sure you start from the very beginning where it tells us about our text and we're going to read it together. Mr. Gum and the Biscuit Billionaire is the second book in the Mr. Gum series by Andy Stanton. This extract is taken from the start of the book and Polly, the main character, is feeling bored. She's desperate to go on an adventure, but she's stuck in the town of Lemonic Bibber. Sounds a bit boring, doesn't it? It all started late one afternoon in the peaceful little town of Lemonic Bibber. Summer was almost at an end and the day stretched out long and lazy like a huge glossy panther made of time. The birds chirped in the trees, the rabbits chirped in their burrows, the fox walked along the railway tracks whistling green sleeves and thinking fondly of a vixen he had once loved. Up on the Boasters' Hill, a little girl sat reading a book called Cobbler Wins the Prizes. Now this little girl's name was Polly, and she was the sort of girl you could be friends with. She was brilliant at running and jumping and scabbing up her knees, and she didn't have no time for nonsense, okay? She was brave and honest and true, and when she laughed, the sunlight went splashing off her pretty teeth like diamonds in the search of an adventure. But where were the laughter and diamondy teeth now? Nowhere, because Polly was bored. Cobbler Wins the Prizes is full of escapades, but that's just a book, she complained to herself. Nothing exciting never happens round here. And that whopper dog Jake never even comes round to play no more. For alas, it was true. Polly hadn't seen Big Jake all summer long. Oh, how she missed riding on his huge furry back and pretending he was a horse or a spaceship. Jakey, she called hopefully, in case he just happened to be nearby playing cards with a dormouse or something. But there was no answering woof to be heard. Sigh, sighed Polly with a sigh. First no adventures and now no Jakey. It's well unfair. And with that she lay back in the long grass. The hot sun beat down and soon she was drifting away. Wow, Polly sounds really bored to me. Okay, so if you highlight any of the vocabulary you don't know in that text, do that now and then ask somebody at home, or if not, Miss Morgan's going to explain it to you, okay? So you can hit pause on the video now and do that. Right, so glossy panther is like a shiny panther. Burrows, do you know what that means? A burrow is like a little tiny hole where the rabbits must live. And Greensleeve is a funny song that Henry VIII actually wrote and sang, if you know Henry VIII. Nonsense, that's just a bit of silliness, okay? Oh, and escapades, that's actually one of our questions today, so I'm not going to tell you yet. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. What is unusual about the animal's behaviour in the first paragraph? Remember, paragraph is the first bit of writing, okay? So what's unusual? What's different about the animal's behaviour? The birds chirped in the trees. Birds do chirp in trees. The rabbits chirped in their burrows. I guess they don't chirp, but they make noise. A fox walked along the railroad tracks, whistling green sleeves. Do you know any foxes that can talk or even sing? I don't. Number 2. Give one reason why Polly is feeling bored. Now, I'm sure that it said bored in the text, so I can retrieve this from the text. I can take it from the text. So get your pen or your fancy highlighter and you can find the word bored. I found the word bored. Okay, I'm going to underline that. Is my clue in the text? Why is she feeling bored? But where were the laughter and diamondy teeth now? Nowhere, because Polly was bored. Doesn't really tell me. I'm going to read on. Cobbler Wins the Prizes full of escapades, but that's just a book, she complained to herself. Nothing exciting never happens round here. And that whopper dog Jake never even comes round to play anymore. Well, well, has she got her friend anymore? Would you be a bit bored if your friend wasn't there? And Miss Morgan started that sentence with because, the conjunction because as well. Number 3, what do you think the word escapades means in line 14? Now don't forget the text is very good because it tells us where to look. So let's find line 14. Oh, it's just before 15. Cobble Wins the Prizes is full of escapades, but that's just the book, she complained to herself. Nothing exciting happens around here. Escapades, does it mean magic tricks? Not a lot of magic tricks happen around here. No. Ooh, adventures. Is Polly bored because she wants an adventure? I'm sure I've seen the word adventure in our text. Escapades might mean that. See, jokes. Does it mention jokes anywhere else in my text? No, even though they're fun. Or games. I guess it could mean games, because Jake never wants to come round to play anymore. But I know that Polly's looking for an adventure, so I'm going to go with adventures, a book full of adventures. Okie doke. Number 4, read what Polly says on lines 15 and 16. What do you notice about some of the words are written? Why do you think the author has done this? So why is the person who's written this text, what do you notice about what he's written? So let's read lines 15 to 16 first to get those clues. So, nothing exciting ever happens round here. And, I'm sure that's supposed to say and. Can you see that? And that Whopper Jake never comes. Oh, he's got an apostrophe again in a random place. Now, I know that's where the speech isn't starting. So I wonder why the author's used an apostrophe like that. So we've never done this in guided reading before. And sometimes it's to do with the way that the character talks. So in Stoke, do you know, like, we miss out our H's sometimes and we say, ooh, I had a burger for lunch instead of I had a burger for lunch. Sometimes the author puts apostrophes in where the letter's supposed to be. So A-N apostrophe, that's supposed to be a D. So he's put that in so that the character says Anne. And that Whopper. Okay, so it's all to do with how the character speaks. Okay, so the author has done this because... Number 5. Why do you think the author repeats the word sigh on the line 21? Let's look at line 21 together. Sigh, sighed Polly with a sigh. Now, do you think the author's put that because he doesn't want the reader to think she's that fed up? I'm sure if he just mentioned sigh once, you'd think she's a bit fed up. But he's used it 3 times. Do you think because the author's used it 3 times, it's really showing how fed up and bored Polly is? Miss Morgan started that sentence with because again, because you've got to tell me why. Number 6. Do you think you'd like to be friends with Polly? Explain your answer. So you've either got to put a yes or a no here. Would you want to be friends with Polly or not? I mean, I love an adventure, so I think I would like to be friends with Polly. So I'd write yes, because Polly loves an adventure. She's always running and jumping. I've retrieved that from the text. She's always running and jumping and scabbing her knees. Tell me why you wouldn't want to be friends with Polly. And number 7, would you like to read the rest of this book? Explain your answer. So you know if you're explaining your answer, you must use the conjunction because. So would you like to read the rest of the book? I'm going to say yes, because I want to see if Polly goes on an adventure or if she finds her friend Jake. But I wonder why you would want to read the rest of the book or why you wouldn't want to read the rest of the book. But make sure you extend that with because, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing today's learning and I hope you present it lovely. I've been seeing some lovely handwriting as well. I'm just thinking, should I give you a challenge today? I think I am going to give you a challenge today. I want you to carry on the story because Miss Morgan wanted to find out if Polly went on an adventure or not. I want you to write the story and carry it on as if Polly found herself on an adventure. So she could have found herself on a spaceship far, far away. Or she could have gone down one of those rabbit burrows and then found gigantic rabbits under the ground. That will be an exciting adventure. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the adventures that you are going to write about Polly, okay? So have a lovely day today, and I'm looking forward to today's learning. Very excited for the stories, and I hope to see you in my classroom full very, very soon, okay? So happy Tuesday!